teenage mother, as a former worker in a family-owned small business, I oppose this bill. Growing up, I lived in the resort community of Nantucket, Massachusetts, and I want to tell you that, the hospitality industry is going to tell you that it's some kind of favor to hire teenage employees, but actually, if you work in the hospitality business, workers can be very hard to come by, especially in the summer. We have workers that come from other countries and they make up an important part of our business, but they can be very expensive. It can cost as much as $5,000 to bring someone to work. And so we're really willing to hire teenage workers. And, especially in the food industry, the jobs are difficult. Working in the fish market, we can get in 500 pounds of freight. We had a teenage employee who worked for a football team, and he could put away 500 pounds of freight by himself. And I personally feel that it would be, frankly, unethical to suggest that we would be paying him less simply because he was younger. I used to work for minimum wage. As a pregnant teenager, I worked at Taco Bell, Portland, Maine, and at the time the minimum wage was $7.25 an hour. And it was a very difficult time in my life to try and get by on those kind of wages. Here in Rhode Island, 2014, the last year for statistics I could become available, there were about 1,000 teenage people who became teenage parents. And they deserve a chance to get ahead. If I was making $7.25 back in 2004, why should an employer be able to pay a teenage employee parents today $7.20 an hour in 11 years? The same wage. It just doesn't add up. And finally, as an educator, I work with students, high school students, and I was getting their feedback today, and I heard things like, well, I pay $400 a month in rent. Some of my students are living on their own. Some of them are teenage parents. Some of them are paying bills. It's just not realistic. It's kind of a fairy tale to think that teenage workers are simply people who get a summer job. And quite frankly, if the training wage only lasts for 3 months, well, the summer season is June, July, and August. If you're, a business, why not just hire those teenage employees for 3 months of the year, fire them, next year get a new batch, rinse and repeat. This is not an opportunity wage, it's an exploitation wage. And we should not give anyone the opportunity to exploit teenage workers.
Yes, Representative Advocate has a question for you.
I want to thank you for testifying, and that's what I was thinking when I was listening to the woman from the hospitality. She's telling me. I don't know why they're having trouble hiring young people, but I come from Narragansett and South Kingstown, that's the towns I represent, and certainly we put the young people to work all summer long, so I was somewhat concerned why they're having such a problem, because I don't really see it down there. They're mostly young people that want those jobs in the summer, and they're getting them, and why we should pay them less, I don't know, so.
Summer jobs especially, there's just no question that there are plenty of jobs available for teenage workers. There are 66,000 H-2B visas issued, and they're all used up, they've been capped, so there's a huge need for summer workers.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we go down to any of the restaurants in Narragansett, like around Labor Day, and you'll see the change over it. It's harder to find waitress and waiters and busboys because they're all back in school, either college or high school or whatever. So thank you for your testimony.
The